Yeah. Oh, how are you?
You alright?
Yeah, man, I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm okay. It's been ages this.
Very long time, man. Very, very long time.
Very long
Good
time, very
time.
long time. Finally, like I've been trying to get
Yeah.
used to this, but going live on YouTube and that kind of thing is kind of like it's kind of different.
Uh-huh.
And this is my first time. Like I'm trying. I'm too excited to be here with you today.
I'm very excited as well because maybe, once we get comfortable, we can do this every week. Could
Yeah,
be,
we should be doing this every week. I think we should be doing this
yeah,
every week. And
because
this app,
it's not.
like it's new. I'm not used to this app, like, so like it's kind of like a lot
Mm,
of like technical work in it to get that going.
no, it should be good, man. We could do it after every game. I don't
Yeah, I
know
was
if you
thinking about
be,
this.
uh, we could do a weekly thing. I don't mind because I work 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. Weekends I'm off. Evenings I'm
Okay.
off. So anytime you need me, man, I'll be there.
Yeah, it would be nice to at least have it like every week, every now and then. Let's keep
Uh-huh.
going. Let's keep streaming. There's a lot to talk about. If you say we're gonna start talking, like I think we can talk to next week.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, you knew uh, my opinion on Ten Hag, and I wanted him to stay till the very
Yeah,
end, I would say. And I think now that he's gone, in hindsight, I realized that change was needed. You can't say that change was not needed. Unfortunately, it has to be the manager all the time because even Bruno said after Ten Hag got sacked that it's very easy to sack a manager because he's just one guy, and it's very hard to sack 17, 18 players. It's just never going to happen. So, and I really like how Bruno said that even as us players, we have to take responsibility, and it's also our job to make sure that the club is where it belongs. But unfortunately, it's not been the case. But I'm very
yeah,
excited. I was really upset when he first got sacked because I thought they were going to give the job to Rude for the entire season, and then it's another write-off. It's another interim till the end of the season, like Holly. And I was not looking forward to it. But now that Ruben Amorim is here, I'm very excited, man. I am so
but
excited.
I'm not gonna lie. I really wanted like Ruben to stay, even though like I think he might be like Oli
Yeah.
as he said, but I really wanted Ruud to stay because you could see the connection that he had with the fans from the
Mm.
time of him being a football player to being like interim manager. He had this connection with the fans.
That is absolutely true, Mo. I totally understand the sentiment that you have, but my problem is that you can't have a man in the dressing room that also wants your job, you know? Let's
Exactly.
say
Yeah.
you're working somewhere and there's someone that works below you, but he really wants your job, and he said it multiple times that, oh, I would love to be manager, I would love to be manager. You just can't have that because as soon as something goes bad under Amarim, let's say we lose the first 3 games out of the first 5 under Amarim, which is possible, the media will be like, "Oh, why did they even get a new manager when Rude won 3 out of 4? They should have just kept him." Blah blah blah. Just a lot of nonsense that would just go on. So I just really appreciate Rude for his services, and I think it's the right time to move on for all of us.
Yeah, I totally agree. I totally agree because Ruud van Nistelrooy is like a man of his own, and it's time for him to like to go elsewhere to make a name for himself. And
Exactly.
if he's gonna come back at Man United, he'll come back as like a main manager, not like as a deputy or like
Mm.
a
Mm.
assistant or something like that. I was heartbroken when he left. Like the last game after, is it the Leicester game? Yeah, the
Leicester,
connection that
yeah.
he had with the fans, like the fans singing his name here, and they are like, no, this is the man
Yeah.
for us. But it's sad and emotional. It's really sad and emotional that he's left.
Yeah, and it was sentimental for me. Obviously, I remember that there was a video going viral online, but this older gentleman was clapping at Rude and he was crying.
Yeah.
And I felt the same way, because Reed was such a great player. I don't remember him because I was too young when he was at the club.
Yeah, I don't
But
remember him either. I don't remember him playing either.
great times, man. Uh, really disappointed with the Chelsea result. Honestly, I think we should have won that game. Only if Garnacho knew how to pass
Yeah,
for
we
the
could have.
overlaps, we could have
Mm,
done so much better. But you know what? You can't be too greedy. 3 wins out of 4 is amazing.
mm.
We're only 5 points behind the top 4. So that's something that I think Ruben should look into as soon as he can. It's about results now more than anything else. But I would obviously like to see some changes on the pitch. I want to ask you, are you excited for the new formation? Do you think he'll use it from the first game or not?
I think we have the players, we have the team, we have the squad to have to play that formation, that 3-4-3 formation. Because looking at the back, we have like strong defenders like Lenny Yoro, Lisandro Martinez, even Harry Maguire can step up if it
Mm,
needed. We have Johnny Evans, we have Lisandro Martinez, we have the late. So I think the three back, we have Mazarawi, we have Dalot as well. So I think like
mm,
if it's the three back, we have the solid defenders like for that kind of particular. Looking at the way Mazarawi and Delet like they operate. I think we have the team
mm,
to play that. But the only problem that I have is like the upfront. Because I remember Ruben Van
mm,
Nistelrooy in his last interview before he left was saying like to win the Premier League, you need a proven goal scorer. And a
yeah.
reference was made to his time when he came to United, having the likes
Mm,
of Oligano, having the likes of Ted Sheeran, having the likes of York, and just name them.
mm. And that is true. I think if you look at the season, we've conceded less goals than City have. We've
Hmm.
conceded the same amount of goals that Arsenal have. Our problem has been scoring goals, and obviously, if I think I just don't understand why, if something that your team needs is scoring goals, why would you go and buy a player like Joshua Zirkzee, who's I think he's a great player,
That
but he's
just
not a scorer. He's not a goal scorer though. So why buy someone who's not going to be able to do something that you desperately need? Our defense was sorted. I don't know why we didn't go for a better striker.
Yeah, and there's been rumors about like probably him leaving, even though I know like Ineos will not let him go because they just bought him like in the summer, so I don't think they'll let him go. But if Bruno is gonna be active and playing every week, every now and then, as he does every season, where is Joshua Zesky going to fit? Where
Yeah.
is he going to fit in the squad?
I don't think he's a midfielder anyways, you know. I don't think he can replace
And he's not
Bruno.
a striker either.
Well, I mean, he says himself he's a 9.5, so perhaps he can play as a second striker behind Højlund. But with Amorim, it's a 3-4. Uh, how much is it?
Three for
It's a
three.
3-4-3. Yeah.
Yeah,
So if Bruno drops back and there's two forwards there, so it could be Xerxes and Højlund together, which could work. But a lot of people would like to see Rashford there, because you can put in a good shift as centre forward. Uh, I wonder what happens to players like Anthony and Garnacho, because do they play as the left wing backs? Do they play as the right midfielders? Do they play up front? What happens to these guys?
yeah. But even Rashford, do you think Rashford still has a place in this team with this kind of like information? Looking at Garnacho's form and Amad Diallo's form,
Hmm.
and then if he's gonna play like the 3-4-3, definitely you need this two attacking wings. So definitely you're gonna go for someone who might be going for it and be coming back to help.
Hmm.
You cannot bench Amad Diallo and Ganacho. If you're gonna have Dalot and Mazraoui, you need those
Hmm.
two operative like
Exactly.
wing players.
The thing with Ahmad is he's such a good player, and if you remember when we got him from Atlanta, he primarily played as a number 10. So obviously he can be interchanged with Bruno, Mason Mount whenever they're in the team. So I'm not worried about Ahmad because he's a great footballer. He can play any
Ahmad,
position. He could play for goalkeeper and he will still be a very good player. That's how good
Ahmad,
he is. So uh, I wonder with Rashford that I remember Jose said that I really wanted to make Rashford as a striker, and I'm very confused as to why Ole Gunnar is not using Rashford as a striker, and why does he play him on the left wing? And we've learned to realize that Rashford likes playing on the left instead of as a centre forward. But if Ruben Amorim can potentially turn him into the centre forward that Jose always wanted to turn him into, then perhaps Rashford has a place in the team. Other than that, I think it's really hard because he doesn't have the defensive capabilities of a
yeah.
Garnacho or an Ahmad who can play as the wing back potentially. I just don't see Rashford. Uh, I don't see the commitment in him anymore. He just it feels like he doesn't care. I'm not gonna say that because people are gonna come at me. You know, all the Rashford FC people are gonna come at me, and even Rashford himself said it that you can never question my commitment to Man United last season when he wrote that article.
Yeah, I remember about that.
But I love Rashford, man. I think he's such a great player, but I don't know why he doesn't take his man on anymore.
Yeah, but I think he's not contributing a lot to the team, is he?
Not really. I think something's gone wrong with him, man. We've been saying this for so long that something's gone wrong with him. His head is not in the right place. But for how long are we going to take this, huh?
Mhm.
So I hope that this new manager helps Rashford get to the best he can be. Maybe he didn't like playing under Ten Hag, that's why he was upset. But this is Man United. We don't have time for feelings. We don't have time for emotions. You're a player there. Only a few hundred players had the privilege of playing for Man United in their entire lifetime. and you play for our club. Just represent us the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Give your best. That's all we ask for. Even when Garnacho makes a mistake, he keeps trying. He keeps at it. Why fans love him? Because he gets it. He never stops trying, and that's all we need. Never stop trying. Just don't stop trying.
Hmm.
That's my problem with him. He just stops trying. He doesn't really care sometimes.
Yeah. And Ruben Amorim, there's been rumors about like Gyökeres from Lisbon, like
Mm,
probably he might be
mm.
coming to Old Trafford as well. Is he needed?
I think it's too soon to say anything. When I
We had
was
a,
watching,
we had a sign to sign. We had a chance to sign Harry Kane. We didn't. Ivan Toney was on the market just a few months ago. And we
yeah,
didn't sign Ivan Toney. And we went for Rasmus Holland. So are we now going to go in for Gyökeres? Is it because we have a new manager or like a new system or something like that?
I think Højlund is phenomenal. Maybe I am overstating, but I think he's a phenomenal striker. From what I've seen over the past 2 seasons, I think he's great. His problem is he tries to wrestle with the defenders too much and not focus on the ball.
Mm-hmm.
If he focuses on winning the ball first and then trying to fight the players, then he can literally turn his game around. And I realized that Højlund is much better at running at players instead of holding the ball. And
Yeah.
Ten Hag was trying to make him the main striker where he holds up the ball instead of letting him run in the back alleys of the defenders. But I don't think we need Gyökeres at this point because when I was watching City Lisbon and when I was watching Gyökeres play, I was like, this is literally how Højlund plays. He's
Exactly.
strong, he's tall, he's fast, he's good at finishing, and Højlund finishes with the left as well. He's a left-footed player. So I genuinely think that Højlund has the potential to be the next Gyökeres. I think he definitely has about 25 goals in him.
Gyökeres.
No,
Yeah, for me, I
Højlund.
think like he's gonna be a good contribution to the team, but it's just gonna be like exactly what Ineos are trying to they are trying to avoid like a lot of expenditure. They
Mm,
cut off Sir Alex Ferguson from his ambassadorial position because they want to cut off like
yeah,
the cost of the club. A lot of people were discharged of their duties because of the same reason. If we
yeah,
bring Gyökeres in, it's gonna be like okay, we already have Anthony who is like SS baggage in the squad because Anthony like I think we
yeah.
just a total waste of money, Anthony. We've brought Joshua Zeski in. We have Rasmus Oyland in, and then we bring in Gyökeres in as well.
Mm.
That's going to be
It
a,
just doesn't make sense to me.
if
I
we are
think
playing Champions League. Sorry, if we play in Champions League, it's gonna make some sense because here playing Champions League and maybe the Premier League, you might have to balance it. But it's
mm,
it's Europa League. Come on, it's Europa League. We don't have
we,
to
we,
like.
we we don't need another strike. At this point, we don't need another strike. I would argue even next season, we don't need another striker. I think the boys deserve a chance. Zirkzee and Højlund deserve a chance under the new manager. They will potentially take time to settle in, but I think it's really hard to comment even before a ball has been kicked under the new manager.
Hmm.
But I'm very excited for the game against Ipswich. What are your thoughts now?
For the game against it. For me, I was on the podcast last week with some of my friends from the States, and I was just saying like it's easy. It's always easy for United manager. Any manager that comes out United since Alex Ferguson left, the first season is always easy. You can look from the likes of
Mm,
Luis Van Gaal, from Moyes, from Mourinho, from Ole, from even Ruud van
mm,
Nistelrooy. The first season is always easy for the managers who comes
mm.
in. They can easily turn things up, but the second season is where the problem lies.
Yeah, that is true
Eric,
because it
when he came in, he had a very good first season, but he got thrown out
absolutely,
in the second season, and then the
yeah,
third season, like he had to leave. So with this season, I know like he can get us into the top four because the top four is not far away from us. The door to the
mm,
top four is still open, just 5 points
mm,
away, and it's not even
mhm,
December yet. And the teams up front are
mm,
playing Champions League, they are playing the Premier League, they are playing the FA Cup, they just name it. So I think like it's easy, we can easily get to the top four. But where my
mhm,
problem lies is next season. Like if he gets there,
mm.
can we maintain that same performance that maybe we can get from now? That's my
I
problem.
think
Like,
um, Ineos need to commit. They need to commit to a manager now. We can't have another case of a Ten Hag where let's say Ruben Amorim has a great first season and then he doesn't have such a great second season or third season, and they're like, oh, we need to change the manager again. And there's still players like Bruno, Rashford, Luke Shaw, Harry Maguire, Victor Lindelof at the club. I think that's just suicide. So one of the first priorities of Ineos and the Amorim has to be get rid of every single player that he doesn't want. I don't care who he is. I don't care if they bought
again,
him last season. They need to get rid of these players, man. They need to get rid of every single player that the manager doesn't want.
it's going to be another cost again for the club again. Exactly the way
But
Eric Ten Hag did. When Ten Hag did,
this
he
is
got rid of a lot of players that were in before he came, and then he brought how many players? Like he signed almost 7 players or 8 players within 3
but
seasons.
again, he didn't manage to get rid of every single player that he wanted to. Remember, he tried to get rid of Harry Maguire twice, and he didn't leave twice. He tried to get rid of Smoke
Even
McTominay in his first season. He didn't leave. He just said, "No, I'm not going to go." There's so many, and then if you look at Ten Hag's wish list, there's so many players that he wanted, he didn't get. He wanted De Jong, never got him. He wanted Harry Kane, never got him. He wanted Amrabat to stay, never got him. So there's multiple examples where Ten Hag was like, "Oh, I need this player, I need this player," but he
But
never
he
got him.
always
And
says that he wanted because look, from Onana to Mazarawi to Lisandro Martinez to Anthony to who is just name
the
them a
list
lot of players. He got most of the players.
Ericsson, Casemiro, and
Eric,
how
yeah,
many of these players are bad players, Mo? How many of these players are bad players? I don't think any of them is a bad player except Anthony. All of them are good. All of
no,
them are good
all of
players.
them are good. All of them are contributing. I'm not
So
gonna lie.
these signings have not been bad. It's just because of that one Anthony signing, people think Tanaka is some idiot, but he's not. All the players that have come into the club are good. You look at Martinez, you look at Delit, you look at Mazraoui, you look at Casemiro, Ericsson. You look at Ericsson, how good he's been this season. He's been phenomenal.
And
I
even
think he's
Casemiro
gonna.
has been good this season. Casemiro has been
But
so good this season.
just except that one Liverpool game, I think he's been phenomenal.
Yeah, he's been
He's been
phenomenal.
very good. And of course, there's been a few question marks. And I think, again, I think it's a cultural problem. I'll give you an example. So when I first started working at my last job, not this one, but my last job, I was really disciplined when I first started. I'm like, I'm gonna work really hard. I'm gonna make sure that I'm gonna do everything that my boss asks me to do, whatever, blah blah blah. But then, as soon as I started working there, in a few weeks, I realized there are some other employees that don't do as much work as I do, but they still get the same amount of praise that I do. So even I became complacent. So it's a cultural problem. So
Mm.
every time a new player comes to Man United, let's take Lisandro Martinez for an example. He comes in with this crazy animal-like mentality where he's like, I'm a dog and I need to win. I'm gonna win. But then as soon as he realizes there's other players there that don't really care. They're just happy with a paycheck. They think they've made it already. So the good players become complacent. Look at how good Bruno was in his first season, in his
Mm.
first 2 seasons. He's a shadow of himself now. So it's a cultural problem that they need to get rid of. The message from the top has to be this club is meant for winning. This club is not meant for commercial success anymore. The only purpose of you being at Man United is to win the Premier League and to win the Champions League. As long as that message is not translated downwards, we're never going to win anything more, unfortunately.
Hmm. It's kind of it's kind of funny and sad, like the way the direction that Ineos are kind of they are trying to take this club, even though like it's kind of like a good direction, but I can feel like Ineos are not still they are not keeping their words, like they're not doing what they said they would do when they first came in. I remember Ineos saying like they would decide the players that the club will sign, they will decide the pattern of play that the club is going to decide. But this is the process whereby Ruben Amorim has already given us like everyone knows okay this is his style of playing, this is what he's bringing. Is it the same thing that Ineos wants, or is he bringing what he wants to the club? Because
I mean,
if it's what his style of play, then maybe Ineos are not keeping their word, as what Sergeant Ratcliffe said.
I mean, to be fair to Ineos, they never said what their style of play was going to be.
Nah, okay,
So
they never said, but he said they will detect, they will choose the style of play that the
yeah,
club
and
will
they
play.
have, they got rid of a manager that they didn't hire. Ten Hag was not an Ineos signing.
Who had
Ruben
it right?
Amorim is an Ineos signing. See, the only reason I'll tell you, I'll be very honest. The only reason why Ten Hag stayed last season was because fans wanted him to stay, and he won the FA Cup. That's it. If he lost the FA Cup, he would have been gone. There's
Mm,
no way he would have stayed. So you know what? Ineos didn't want to get on with the wrong foot with the fans. Let's say Ten Hag wins the FA Cup. Most of the fans want him to stay, which is a fact. Most fans wanted him to stay when he won the FA Cup, and then they get rid of him, and then things don't work out with the new manager, and then everyone's like, "Why did you get rid of a good manager in Ten Hag?" So they had to take a gamble on Ten Hag, and unfortunately, it didn't work out. So now they have their own manager, and he's not even a manager, by the way, Mo. He's a head coach. So his only job is to coach the players, to train them.
mm,
So I'm pretty sure they've had these conversations with Amarim saying, "This is how we like to play. We like how you play currently. Can we have a mix, or we're very happy with how you want to play?" I don't think that's a major issue for me, honestly.
mm. But I think the Premier League is it going to be easy league for Amrin to just like blow
Absolutely
past
not.
everyone is saying Amrin, Amrin,
Absolutely
Amrin.
not.
So I remember when Eric Ten Hag was coming, we were all excited. We were all buzzing, like looking at what he did in the Dutch league. We were excited that okay, we've got the man that we wanted, like the solution to our problem. And then
Mhm.
he came, and then everything just went like apparently he became the worst manager ever to ever manage United. So is Ruben Amrin going to have
Yeah.
the same like reception, like the excitement that everyone is excited that he's coming, and then after 1 season and 2 seasons, we all want him out of the window.
I think there's a lot of excitement, but there's a lot of cautious excitement, I'd say. Because when Ten Hag first came in, I was overly excited. I was like, it's over. It's over. We're going to win the Premier League in the next 3 years. We're going to be the best team in the world the next 2 years. That's how delusional I was when Ten Hag first came in. But with Ruben Amorim, I realized that he's a great manager, but I'm not going to be too excited. I'm not going to get my horses up. I'm not going to say that, oh, he's going to be the next coming of Sir Alex like I did with Ten Hag. I'm excited, but I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't work out. I think a lot of fans are like that. There's a very cautious pessimism, and it can change. If let's say he wins his first 10 games in a row, everyone's going to be like, "Oh my God, we're back, we're so back," and then it crashes down again. It's so unpredictable,
Do you
man.
think he's been too hyped? Like his coming has been a lot of hype. There's been a lot of hype about it.
No,
Or
I think
are we just desperate for a manager? That's why like everyone is excited, or is it been hyped? A lot of hype.
there was a lot more hype when Ten Hag first came in. Because when we got rid of Oli, everyone was like, he's a PE teacher, he's useless, get rid of him. And then we got Ralph Ranić, it was so toxic under him. And then when Ten Hag came in, he said, if you remember, he said, eras come to an end, and he said all this good stuff. Everyone was so excited. I remember that the excitement when we got Ten Hag was much higher than the excitement there is today. Because it was a new season appointment. It
Are
was
you
it
sure? I
was a
think
fresh start, fresh season. But with Ruben Amorim, he's coming mid-season, and we're 13 in the league. A lot of people don't really expect him to turn it around. But with Ten Hag, it was brand new season, 0 points.
I
Everyone's in
think this
zero
one has a
points.
lot of excitement, especially him beating Man City 4-1, like before
Yeah,
coming.
yeah.
We all like, okay, this is it.
There,
This is it
there is a
finally.
lot of hype. Absolutely, there is a lot of hype. But I don't think it's quite at the level where it was under Jose. I remember when we got Jose
Hmm.
Mourinho.
Yeah,
Everyone was
when we
like,
got, but even with that, there was like mixed feelings because a lot of people thought like Josie was not a man for for the job at United because a lot of
uh-huh,
people have question marks about his style of play even before he even came
mhm,
out Old Trafford, and
mhm.
he's just like what's this name? What's the manager of Napoli? I forgot his name. He managed Tottenham and Chelsea as well.
Conte.
Conte, just one season manager. He win you
Yeah.
the league this season, and then the second season he's gone.
Yeah, but I would have been happy with that if he won us the league, for a season, and then and then he left. But obviously, that didn't happen. But see, I'm not discrediting Amorim. I think the hype is real. I think he justifies the hype because you don't win 11 games in 11. You don't beat Pep Guardiola 4-1 in a
No
Champions
one,
League.
no one has
It,
done
it
that.
just doesn't happen. This is the thing that I want you and everyone else to remember that he's not a bad manager. So when things go bad, don't say he's a shit manager
Yeah,
because
yeah.
this
For
is
me, I know he's
exactly
not
what
a bad
happened with Ten Hag.
I know he's not a bad manager. Even with Ten Hag is never a bad manager. But some of the decisions that like he did, that's what make
Very
people call him
confusing.
out. Because
Very
let
confusing.
me give you a perfect example. Ten Hag's decision that did like that was I said, okay, this is it for me with Ten Hag. Just the last game, was it a Europa League game? Was it against FC Porto or something like that? Rashford was having the
Yeah,
best game this time, and it took
yeah,
Rashford
and he stopped them off. Yeah,
45 minutes. And then another game again, we were playing. He used Joshua Zeski as number 10, and then Ahmad was on the bench. And then he took
mm.
Zeski off, I think around 60 something minutes. And then he brought Anthony on, and Ahmad Diallo was still on the bench, perfectly
Yep,
fit. And then he
yep,
brought Ahmad on 87th minute to do what?
yeah. It was really
To do what?
it was really infuriating. But the first game when I really started to think that I think he doesn't give a fuck anymore. I'm sorry to swear, but the first game where he thought Ten Hag has lost the plot was against Brighton when Bruno was amazing. Bruno was playing really well, and we need a goal to win. We need a goal to equalize. No, we actually need a goal to win at that point. He takes off Bruno, and then we lose the game. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
we lost
why
that
would
game.
you do this?
That was the
And then,
first Premier League game. I remember that was the first
yeah,
Premier League
and then even the lineup was so confusing, and I was like, Ten Hag, mate, a lot of
game.
people are backing you now, but it's gonna switch like this because a lot of people don't trust you anymore. So you need
Mm,
to play your best team whenever possible. And then
yeah.
the way he just dropped Ahmad for no reason, and then he would play Rashford on the right and play Garnacho on the left, when he could very easily swap them because Garnacho is very good on the right. I remember the Community Shield game where he scored from the right. It's just confusing decision after confusing decision, and it just felt like time was up. As
Massively.
big as a fan I am of Ten Hag, I just
Now
realized,
I know you are
time's
100%
up.
in and out. Like Tanag in, 100% Tanag in.
Yeah, but time was up, man. I'm gonna admit, I'm gonna raise my hands and say time was up for it. Was time for him to go. Honestly, it was.
When did he give up? When did he give up on Ten Hag? Because I give up Ten Hag on Ten Hag. I think I remember after the Crystal Palace game, the 4-0 we lost to Crystal Palace last season.
Oh, that was last season. Yeah, no,
Last season, that's when I said no. I've had enough. I've had enough of this. Like this is
I didn't give up on him at all, really.
never. No, I give up on
I did.
even not.
I didn't give up on him.
Look at losing to Liverpool 3-0 at Old Trafford.
Oh
We've
yeah,
lost like 3-0 to Liverpool at Old Trafford, 3-0 to Tottenham at Old Trafford under Eric.
I'd say I think the Tottenham game was when that was the first time when I had serious concerns for him. I was like, he's gonna lose his job, isn't he? I think he's gone now. I think he's gonna be. I think he's gone. He's gone. No, it doesn't matter what happens next. He's gonna lose his job because our next two games were Porto and Aston Villa, and everyone expected us to lose both games. And I think they were the worst results possible because if we won the game, it's good. It's a good confidence boost for the team, obviously. But if you draw the game, it means nothing. You can't sack him. You can't keep him. So you just let it be how it is. And then obviously, it was probably the biggest injustice I've ever seen against West Ham. We should have been 4-5-0 up in the
No, we
first
should have,
half.
that was some game. I even
We should
about
have put
the
that game away.
against the Leeds was like so unfair.
And you know what? Every single game, if you pick up, except barring the Liverpool and the Tottenham game, I think we deserve to win every single game. We should have beaten Brighton. We should have scored at least 2 goals in the second half. We should have won that game. We should have beaten Crystal Palace. We were so good in that first half. We hit the post again twice. SLS. I don't know if you remember that. West Ham, obviously, we should have won. So that's 9 points. If you had 9 points to us right now, I think we're probably second or third.
Yeah.
So, I think it's incredibly unlucky, but he did it to himself. You know what? I can't be too overly sympathetic. I think he did it to himself. He made such stupid decisions, and in every interview, he'd come out and say, "Oh, 2 trophies, eh? 2 trophies, eh?" He just started pissing fans off. It's not like he had won the Champions League or something.
Every interview just makes reference of the 2 trophies. Hey, we've
Yeah,
won 2 trophies in 2 seasons. I
yeah,
just
we
saw this
need to
one
move
here.
on.
Ruben Amorim has applied to be the manager of Coventry.
Oh wow, that's you know what? That's great news. That's great
Yeah,
news. I'm very
I
happy
just
for Ruben, man. Ah, that is great news. I'm very happy for him.
yeah,
You know what? This is an ambitious man who wants to go further in his career.
yeah,
That is why I respect Rude.
yeah. That's a good step. At least going to the like championship to start from the championship and maybe manage to
Absolutely.
promote them to the Premier League. I think that's a good step. That's a good step. I think Kieran McKinnon did the same as well when he left Man
Yeah.
United. Going to
Even Michael Carrick
Michael
did the
Carrick did
same.
the same as well.
I'm very happy for him. Obviously,
Yeah,
very,
I'm
very
really.
happy.
But I think Ruben Amorim was that the best manager that we could get
Yeah.
out of
Honestly, yeah.
all the managers in the world.
All
Was
the
Ruben
managers, yeah.
the best one?
I mean, who else? I mean, Jurgen Klopp was never going to join us. Arsene Wenger's too old, never going to join us. Carlo Ancelotti, we can't wait till the next season. Thomas Tuchel, never wanted him. He just didn't excite me enough. I don't think he was an upgrade on Ten Hag. It sounds very stupid now for me to say he's a Champions League winner, multiple time league winner. But I don't. Tommy T just didn't excite me. Thomas Frank, hell no. I think you were doing too big of a step up. Gareth Southgate, come on, Mo. You can't have Gareth Southgate at this club. Um, Graham Potter, no, just no for me. So, other managers that we could have looked at, Xabi Alonso, could he come? I don't know. If could you get Ange from Tottenham? Maybe, maybe.
I
Uh,
don't.
you don't like Ange?
No, I
You
don't
don't
like
fancy
Ange. I'm still waiting for you to mention of Unai Emery.
him? Oh shit! Yeah, that's a good shout. That's a very good
I
shout,
would have
Mo.
sacrificed everything. I think keep Ten Hag or keep
Mm.
Ruud to the end of the season and put everything on board to get Unai Emery. I would have put
But no,
everything.
Mo. I think
I would have
it would have been too
sacrificed
expensive.
everything. Hmm?
But I think Ruben Amorim is way more exciting than Unai Emery.
Yeah, for me,
I genuinely think so.
I prefer to get someone from the Premier League that knows the system, that knows the
Mm.
terrain, that has been in there, that's a
That is
proven winner
true.
in the
Yeah,
Premier League.
that
Like
is true.
getting a striker in the Premier League and getting the striker from like a different
Mm.
league is not the same. Ole Watkins or maybe Harry Kane, they've played in the Premier League and they know what the system is like. So
Ivan Tony.
Ivan Tony,
I
so
don't
these
know
people have
why
proven
didn't we
scholars
get
in
him.
the Premier League. But bringing someone from the Eredivisie or maybe La Liga, it's not going to be the same. You know, the energy is
Yeah,
not the same. I would have sacrificed everything to get like Unai
I
Emery.
mean, it's high risk, high reward, man. It's life. You got to take risks sometimes. You can't be too safe.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited though. I'm excited about Ruben. I'm like 100%
I am as well.
hands on deck for Ruben. Just can't wait to get him started.
Yeah, I imagine if you won that, if you win that first game, I'll go crazy, man.
It's gonna be crazy. Everyone's gonna be excited. But it's
Yeah,
Ipswich. It's Ipswich. I'm just gonna wait. I'm just waiting for him to. I think his first big game is gonna be against Arsenal.
yeah, 4th of December, I think. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and
His
then
first game.
literally in the next 3 days we're playing Nottingham Forest. which are fourth in the league. So it's not going to be an easy game for us either.
It's gonna be easy.
So
Is that
Arsenal, Nottingham, I think that's at Old Trafford, yes.
mm,
Nottingham's at Old Trafford, yeah.
yeah.
It's not going to be easy games for him. There's no time for him to settle down in the Premier League.
Mm,
But you know what? I just want him to do well in the Europa League. We've got piss poor easy fixtures in the Europa League. Um, just try and pick up points. Really, I'm too tired of playing good football and not winning games like
mm,
West Ham, like Crystal Palace, like Brighton. Like this season, we have been the better team, but we just haven't won the game. So I just want to see some points. And obviously, I'm very excited for the new formation. Hopefully, these players take it up well. Because I remember when Ralph Ranier came in, first half against Crystal Palace, we're playing 4-2-2-2. It's great, it's phenomenal. But then the players get tired. So we have to go back to counter attacking. And then he could never implement his style of play again.
mm.
I just don't want that to happen again. I want
Yeah,
these players to take it on the chin and get to work. They keep fucking bitching about, oh, training's too hard in the Ten Hag, training's too hard in the Ten Hag. I don't care. Just get on with it, you know? You're professional footballers. Come on.
yeah. So if you have to do a start 11 for this 3-4-3 information, who will you
Mm.
use and who will you bench? Who will you start?
I'll go very safe. I'll go Onana. I'll
Mm,
go at the lit in the middle. I'd go Martinez as the left sided centre back.
mm-hmm.
And no, I'm gonna change that. I'm gonna put Johnny Evans in the middle
John
as a
Evans,
central centre back. Yeah. I'll
as if
put
he's fit for the
Martin.
season.
Yeah.
That
If
fits.
everything, I'm
Mm,
saying for the game against Ipswich, because Harry
okay.
Maguire's not going to be back. I don't trust Lindelof enough. I don't think Lenny Otto's ready. So I'm going to go with Johnny Evans in the middle, Delit on the right, Martinez on the left, and then put Mazraoui as the left wing back, Dalo as the right wing back. In the midfield, I'm going to go Casemiro and Ugarte. And for the three, I'm going to put Bruno false nine, Rashford on the left, and Ahmad on the right. I'm not going to
I'm
go with any strikers for this till he settles down. No striker for me.
uh, for me, I'm just
You
gonna
could
go.
you could you could potentially replace Rashford with Rasmus
Holland.
if yeah, Højlund for Rashford if he really wants to start with the striker, but I would keep it safe. I'll keep it really safe for the first few games. What about
Mm.
you? What's your starting lineup for the team?
I'm just gonna use what's the name? Delete.
Uh-huh.
What's the name? Lisandro Martinez.
Mm-hmm.
I wish Lenny Euro is fit enough. If Lenny Euro
Oh,
is
too
fit enough,
soon, man. Too
yeah,
soon, yeah.
Lenny is not fit enough, so I'm probably gonna go for maybe John Evans or maybe Harry Maguire because Harry Maguire is good enough as well.
Yeah, 100%. He's fantastic in a
Yeah,
five back.
yeah, I'm gonna put Harry Maguire in there, and then I'm gonna use Dalot and Mazraoui to
Yeah.
play on the wings on the side, and then I'm just gonna use Ugarte and Casemiro as a
Mm-hmm.
solid block three, a solid block
Mm-hmm.
two, and then I'm gonna use like Bruno Fernandes just in front of them, and then the up front I'm gonna use Garnacho. I'll
Mm-hmm.
use
Not a
Garnacho
bad shot. You're gonna use Garnacho and who?
Rasmus Højlund.
Okay, okay. That's
I'll use
that's a good shot actually. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna use Garnacho and Rasmus Højlund. For me, I believe like Garnacho needs more playing time. You know, if you leave a
Mhm.
player like Garnacho, if you keep on leaving him on the bench, like you make a lot of harm to his confidence. You know, coming from the
Mm.
bench and starting is not the same.
Yeah, but people would argue more that he has been starting way too many games this season. Because if you remember, start of the season, he was coming off the bench and he was scoring goals. But recently, I think since September, he started every single game, and he was dropped for the last game against Leicester. And then when he came on, he scored that beautiful goal, didn't he?
It's very
So
beautiful.
I think maybe I think there should be a good balance where you start him, you drop him, but you don't drop him, you put him on the bench, and then you bring him on. Because I think Garnacho off the bench against tired legs, he's he's beautiful when he
And
comes
then
off
with
the
the
bench.
Arsenal game, do you think like is it possible for us to get points against Arsenal?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I never say never.
They're near London, you know.
Oh, I don't care because you look at Arsenal. They I don't think they won a game in 5 games or something. They've lost three on the bounce, so they're not as good as people think they are anymore.
Mm. Do you think they're off the
But
title
yeah,
race? Then?
pardon.
Arsenal are they off the title race? You think?
Oh, I don't think they were. Yeah, I would say yes. I have to
Mm.
say yes. Way too behind now. They've been top of the table for 246 days and they still lose the league. So I don't see how they can cover a 9 point gap and win the league now.
Mm.
It's
But
just not
you,
going to happen.
who do you think is going to win? Liverpool, City?
I want to kill myself more. I don't want Liverpool to win. I don't care who else wins. I just don't want Liverpool to win. They can't have a. We can't have 2020. That's gonna kill me.
It's gonna be 6 seasons winning the Premier League, bro. It's just gonna be like the Serie A when Juventus were just dominating it for like 8 seasons.
Yeah, but they're going to the National League next season, Mo. Don't worry about it. The trial's coming. See, they're gonna get charged, and then everything gets
I
different.
don't think they'll be charged. I don't think they'll be charged. These people, they know what they're doing, bro. Imagine
Yeah,
the number
bro.
of like revenue Man City like brings to the table to the Premier League. They make a lot of money. Premier League makes a lot of money.
Well, they do make a lot of money, but it's not as high as Liverpool, Man United, Arsenal, Chelsea. They're nowhere near close how much money that we make. There's definitely something fishy in their books. The thing is, people are misunderstanding the case. It's not Man City. It's not. It's not like a court against Man City. It's
Yeah.
Man City versus the Premier League. Okay, so it's the league's integrity versus Man City's integrity. So both Man City and Premier League are going head to head. Can you imagine how embarrassing it would be for the Premier League, the whole Premier League, if Man City win the case? It will be embarrassing. So I don't see how Premier League gonna give them an easy fight. And if you remember, I think it was a day or two ago that Arsenal, Man United, Tottenham, and Liverpool have already filed uh, an inquiry saying that if Man City get found guilty, we should get compensation. So
Yeah.
that I think that's a big hint. I think these clubs can sense that perhaps Man City are going to get charged and we should be compensated. So, but there's a big chance that anything could happen because Premier League are putting everything into this case. I'm gonna hope for the best. I hope
Yeah.
these cheating bastards get what they deserve.
Out of 150 charges, maybe they might be found guilty, maybe 110, and then maybe 5 they might just go scot free.
Yeah, but it's, most of these charges are not cooperating. There's only 5 or 6 main charges which could get them in big trouble.
Minor.
Kobe Mino.
No, I said most of the charges are minor charges.
Oh, minor charges, yeah. Yeah. But we'll see, man. And the thing is, I want Man United to be so good that we don't have to worry about Man City or Liverpool anymore. Like we're so big, we're so dominant that we don't give a shit what happens with City or Liverpool. And I think good times are on the way. Hopefully, Mo, it's been 11, 12 years since we've seen a good day at this club. And
It's been ages, since 2013, yeah?
That's 3/4 of my life. I haven't seen this club do anything good.
Imagine if we win the league next season or something like that.
Oh my God, Mo! I'm getting an. Can you see my tattoo?
Yeah.
I'm getting one more if you win the league.
One more tattoo. It's gonna be amazing.
Yeah, man. I'm very excited. Hopefully, good things are on the way. And I hope the next time we're talking about some more exciting stuff. Talking about us beating Ipswich 10-0 or something.
We could be doing this maybe once in a week or something like that. We could be trying.
100%, man. 100%.
This is the first time just trying to like see how it works like and that kind of thing. So
is this actually live or?
Yeah, is it live? It's live.
Let me actually go on your channel and see what's it looking like.
This is live, so so this is it here.
Yeah. I can see myself. Was such a great player. I don't remember him because I was too young when he was at the club.
Yeah, I don't remember him. That's interesting. We could be doing this at least once in a week or something like that.
100%.
Yeah, 100%. Even if we could get more people to come on, because like it's kind of difficult.
I can ask someone. I can ask a few people.
Yeah. We can get some people. I can get some people to come on as well. But it's kind of difficult, to navigate this technical things, like to just move it from a different software, move it down and that kind of thing. And even this one, you have to like pay this one about $89 or something like that per month or something like that to get the StreamYard. Yeah, it's quite expensive, this one as well.
Wow, that's really expensive.
That's really expensive. I haven't paid for this one. This is the free version. That's why I used to consider like the StreamYard, powered by StreamYard.
Well, you know what? That's fine, man.
One.
Looks good.
Maybe next week Friday, or when are we playing? Are we playing on Sunday or Saturday?
So next week, we're not playing next week, I think.
Next week. I think next week we're playing next weekend. Let's see.
We're playing on them on the 24th of November.
Is
it next week or is it the week after?
Next week Sunday.
Okay, that's perfect then.
Yeah, next week Sunday. We play
We
in a
can
four.
talk on
We could
Saturday, Friday,
Yeah, we
anytime.
could do Saturday, we could do Friday. We could do Friday night. So we
Yeah,
wrap up like with the games like coming on Saturday as well.
yeah, that's no problem. And if you're free after the game, we can do a match reaction or whatever. I'll be
Yeah,
down.
we could do a match reaction. I'll finish wake up 4:30, 5:30. So I'll get home definitely like before the end of the
Oh
game.
yeah,
I'll be
so
watching the
we
game.
can we can do a match reaction at 7. Game ends
Yeah,
at half 6.
yeah.
That'll
That'll
be
be good.
perfect, man.
Yeah, this it's been a pleasure. It's always excited like to have you. I miss us going to the studio, like going
Oh
our
yeah,
time
man.
to the studio and that kind of thing.
Next year, man, when I come back to
Yeah,
London,
we can
we'll
see
do it.
how long how is it going over there? Is it good?
Oh, it's very good,
Love
man.
it. Yeah.
My life has improved so much, honestly. I don't know if you can see, but I have a good
Yeah.
room. There's a television. You know,
Yeah, I've seen the like United flag over there. Oh man,
yeah,
you live in Milton Keynes. That's why I don't want to come back to London.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's this great setup, man. I really am having the best time possible. I have
Mm.
a work party now in about 10
Ah,
minutes time. Yeah, I'm
and
gonna
then
quickly eat dinner. I'm gonna hopefully have a
okay,
good time. Yeah,
it's
but
a
yeah,
pleasure.
man. How's life for you, man? You
Not
enjoying?
bad, not bad. I'm not gonna lie, not bad. Like as you know me, just doing like the football stuff and my
Yeah,
personal work and that kind of thing. And it's
you know
getting
what,
like
man? Keep at it. I You're working so hard, and there's no way that God's not gonna give you what you deserve, and you deserve the
yeah,
very best because you're putting in the very best.
yeah, we deserve the best,
So yeah,
innit?
you deserve it, bro. Don't let
Yeah,
anyone else tell you otherwise. You
sure,
absolutely
bro.
deserve it.
Sure.
Okay,
Okay,
man.
so you go and enjoy your party.
Thank you.
We do this
I'll
next week, Friday.
catch you next
Out.
week, man.
Cheers, dish.
Cheers, man.